How's it going, guys? It's your boy Stas here. Hope you all had a great weekend and you're ready for this week in the market. Let me tell you, man, it's going to be a big week. A lot of earnings coming up. Google, Tesla, Intel, a bunch of big companies. And, well, things have been escalating over the weekend in the Middle East. Oil's moving up, and believe it or not, the futures are moving up as well. We have a lot to break down, guys. Earnings coming up. Overall, where my head's at, the futures. We'll talk oil very quickly, so let's dive into it. Make sure you all hit the like button, subscribe, join the Patreon, do all that good stuff. That's linked down below if you guys want to be a part of the private Discord and see my portfolio updates and more. All that's on Patreon. So let's talk about what's going on right now, and we're not going to get too much into the geopolitical stuff. Quite frankly, guys, there are other channels out there that are way more thorough, better, at explaining that stuff than I am. But the gist of it is, look, it is escalating in the Middle East. There's more casualties. The Strait, I'm pretty sure, is shut down again. The blockade's back on, right? A lot of stuff's going on. And again, we're not going to get too much into it, but the point is, things are escalating. The MOU's out the window. Forget about it at this point. And again, believe it or not, stocks are actually gapping up in the futures market right now. Not too crazy, but the NASDAQ is up around 0.6%. You guys see this nice gap up on the E-mini NASDAQ 100 futures. S&P futures, let's see, they're up around 0.25%, not as much, but that didn't get hit as much either. So we're seeing a bigger snapback in the NASDAQ because it got hit way more, right, guys? Does that make sense? That should make sense. And Bitcoin's moving up here. Oil, obviously, crude, WTI crude, and Brent, they're both up. WTI is at, 83 a barrel, but obviously Brent's more important. That's over 90 again, man. So we're back over 90 a barrel on Brent crude oil after getting down to, 72 or 4? Where do we get down to on this thing? About $70, man. And now we're just completely breaking out again. So keep your eyes on energy stocks. On a side note, Exxon, Chevron, XLE, which is an ETF. Keep your eyes on all these energy stocks. They're actually moving here overnight. So we're not going to break too many down today, but energy stocks as oil is moving makes sense. And defense stocks, which I made a short form video on that. I'm not sure if you guys saw it. It's on TikTok, all across the board. Make sure you all go follow me on TikTok, by the way, Instagram, Facebook, all those are linked down below. I appreciate you all. So energy stocks, defense stocks, no doubt should be on the top of the radar this week. And of course, as the Qs are rebounding and we have big tech earnings coming up, we should be watching for a potential relief rally in certain memory names, AI stocks, tech stocks that have gotten hit. So the Qs right now are at the bottom of this channel, which we have talked about a couple of times throughout the last couple of videos. We're trading down here, which each time it seems like the Qs get down to 690, 700 towards, this support from early mid-June to, the bottom of this channel. Each time it happens, we get a nice rally, and it looks like we're trying to do that again here, and earnings are the major catalyst. It looks like the market, listen, we've talked about this before, the market is immune almost to what's going on in the Middle East. It's numb to it, right? We get these headlines, all right, who cares, almost, is what the market's saying. That's why we're gapping up. It's like, okay, it's like, all right, we've been dealing with this for weeks, months at this point. But if this was 3 months ago, it would be a lot different. But hey, if it gets even worse, that doesn't mean the market can't go down more. But just saying, overall, the market is a little immune to these headlines with what's going on over there. So don't be surprised if we actually get a little rally. We'll see. Earnings are coming up. And speaking of earnings, Alphabet, Google, GOOG, guys, let's pull it up. This stock is trading, by the way, right at a critical support at about 350 right now, 345. That was the all-time high back in February. We obviously kind of consolidated there in the end of April. Then we broke out. So this is a big spot for the stock to hold. If it breaks through, the reality is low 300s could be coming for Alphabet. And look, I'd probably buy more at that point, as that would be in my rule per se, where I have this rule with my core holdings, my blue chip core holding stocks. Whenever they drop down 20-25% from highs, as long as fundamentals are intact, as long as everything's looking good, I just add a little more. I DCA, I buy some more. And that's, hey, if Google falls through 340, that's where I'm going to be at. And earnings are coming up on the 22nd, which I think that's on Wednesday. So yeah, keep your eyes on Alphabet. One of my longer term holdings, guys. I can't even tell you how many years I've held Alphabet here, but yeah, I love the stock. Bought a bunch more in the 150, 60, 70 range when it was there recently, about a year or 2 years ago, and now it's just taken off. And yeah, if it gets down to 300, even obviously under that, 285, 270, 290, right? I'm going to buy more for the long term. So EPS is projected at, and listen to these numbers for a company as big as Alphabet, what, $4.5 trillion market cap? EPS is estimated at $3.04 versus $2.31 from last year on revenue of $116.9 billion. That's the average estimate versus $96.4 from last year. That would be up over 21% year on year. Insane growth for this type of company in terms of size, and just this company's put year after year after year of just crazy, unbelievable gains in a row, and just business outperformance in general, man. Gemini 3, right? All these crazy things with YouTube, search, advertising. Google is a beast, and they've been doing it for years. And at this point, it's down about, 15% from highs. Hey, you can even say now's a good time to buy. But I'm going to wait till earnings. If we get that gap down, which I'm not saying we will, but if we do, I'm going to be buying more. And I don't think we will necessarily. The stock's already down 15%, but we'll see. I mean, it is a descending triangle here. Keep that in mind. That is a bearish pattern, but we're not under it yet. So I'm going to set my alert at let's say 340. I guess that would be a good spot. Let's do that. 340. And let's see here, guys. Let's do Tesla is number 2. So get ready. We have Alphabet and Tesla this week, guys. I also own Tesla. I am underwater on Tesla. Not much. My average cost is like 410. But man, this thing has not been doing anything for months. I mean, yeah, it's been up a little bit here recently. It's been volatile, but overall it hasn't really broken through the mid 400s, and I think it will, but it might take a little longer than I initially thought. But we have earnings on Wednesday as well for Tesla, so big day Wednesday, man. Tesla, Alphabet after the bell, and analysts have them doing 54 cents earnings per share versus 40 cents from last year on revenue of $26.36 billion versus 22.5 from last year. That would be up 17%? Yeah, 17% year over year. Pretty good. Not where it was 5-10 years ago, but getting better slowly. Remember when their growth was like stagnant top line certain quarters? 2 years ago? When was that? So things are getting better at Tesla. Obviously, we have robotics coming up. Big play longer term. We have self-driving, FSD. They're rolling that out in different cities. It's funny. I just saw I forget what city I was in, but I saw Waymo for the first time. I was in Philly, and people were in it, so they're obviously, I think they're testing it, doing whatever, running certain tests, blah, 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 you guys know. And it's coming, guys, and I'm sure you all in major cities out there, you've seen these around the city. Let me know in the comments if you have. It's coming, and Tesla's at the forefront of that, Google, Alphabet, and that is partly why I own these stocks right now, obviously, and Tesla has a big robotics factor, but that's longer term. Although Elon says, oh, robots are going to be everywhere in like a year. Well, I mean, I don't think he said that, but you know how he always, his timeline is always shorter, or you know what I mean, his deadlines. He never hits his deadlines, but overall, I think Tesla will be a big player in robotics in due time. That's a longer term play. But really, look, earnings are coming up. If they do good, man, if their earnings are strong, good guidance, this is going to snap back, in my opinion. It's due for a snapback. But then again, it kind of depends on the market conditions that day. If we have a rough day in the NASDAQ, do I expect a big, rebound in Tesla? Maybe a little bit, but it could ultimately be sold off if the market's looking rough. We'll see. That's why I don't trade earnings, guys. I just hold through them. If I'm holding a position longer term, even if it's a midterm swing trade, right? I'm holding through, but I'm not doing, crazy weekly options plays or anything like that. So number 3 is Intel. INTC, which this one is very beaten up. And they have earnings, I think, on Thursday in the aftermarket, the 23rd. And they're down. Their stock's down like 40%, 34 or 5%. Unbelievable. And if we look at it here, you guys can see the fact that it took out the lows from when was that? Early June. That worries me a bit. I got to be honest. If it held this point right here, let's say it held this trend, that would have been pretty good, right? Technically speaking, but we took that out, man. The Bears are pretty, in charge right now, although we do have kind of a bullish divergence down here on the RSI. We're starting to see potentially a bottom, volumes kicking up as well. But at the end of the day, man, this is a falling knife. INTC, death cross. But you could always just dollar cost average. If you want to own this stock and you don't know where the bottom is, you don't want to buy here because you think it might go lower, but it might go higher. If you want to just buy a little bit, you can always do that dollar cost average. Not just in Intel. Any stock that's down and you're worried about, oh, am I going to nail the bottom? You're probably not going to nail the bottom. Dollar cost average. That's what it's all about, man. And especially with stocks that have been kind of crazy, like Intel, a bit volatile, scaling in slowly is ideal, in my opinion. Trade at your own risk, though, man. Do your own research. As always, I'm not a financial advisor, and I'm not long Intel. I'm only long so far Google and Tesla, and actually those are the only ones out of all these stocks that I own. So that's Intel, quick little breakdown. And even though it looks a bit rough in the short term, look, that's the best time overall to buy. When we're in a bull market, when stocks are just pulling back, even if it's a major pullback, 35%. I mean, this stock literally 5x'd, 4x'd. So a 35% pullback is not that bad when it went up already 400%. You know what I mean? So if you think about it that way, and the fact that we're still in a bull market, this is not that bad, man. And the 1-year chart shows, okay, it could go down a little more, right? But we're getting close to potential bounce point on Intel, in my opinion. It's just a little too beaten up, and it comes down to earnings. We'll see. And GE Vernova is another one, ticker GEV, which this kind of looks like an inverse head and shoulders to me. I don't know about you guys, but it's kind of clear almost, pretty clear. We have the left shoulder right there, boom, the head, the right shoulder. You guys see we're kind of trying to break through here, which we have been seeing a bit of resistance on this 4-hour chart. You guys see the trend line, boom, 50 SMA, resistance. So if we take that out, I think this could be a runner, but it comes down to, you guessed it, earnings, which are coming up on, let's see here, the 22nd on Tuesday. And I just realized that I tell you guys, Intel's earnings estimates. I didn't. Wait a second. Intel Analysts have them doing, I forgot, EPS of 22 cents versus the loss of 10 cents from last year on revenue of $14.4 billion versus $12.86 billion. That will be up 12% year over year. So keep your eyes on Intel again and GE Vernova, where analysts have them doing. Let me pull it up again here, guys. Earnings per share of $3.19 versus $1.86 from last year on revenue of, let's see here, guys, 0.76 billion versus 9.11 billion from last year, up 18%. So pretty good growth out of GEV. EPS is gonna go up like $1.20 year over year. Phenomenal there. And if guidance is strong, look, they're known to pop on earnings. At least they have the last couple of quarters. This could break out. I'm telling you, man. And this inverse head and shoulders could end up playing out. That's the way I'm seeing it on this 4-hour time frame, at least. What do you guys think? Let me know. And by the way, make sure to subscribe. I think 50% of you guys on YouTube watch the content, which I appreciate, obviously. But if you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 100,000 subs, and we're almost at 70, so we're getting there. We're 70% of the way there, man, and I've been doing this YouTube channel for like 8 years now, right? And on Facebook, shout out to you guys on Facebook. I think we're almost at 100K, so hey, we're getting there. It's awesome. Thanks, guys, for all the support. So ServiceNow is another stock that I'm watching, which I thought it was about to break out literally a couple of days ago or about a week ago, and we got hit with a fake out, right? This thing got to about 115. I thought it started to break out there. Never took a position, and it's just gotten a little bit it's gotten a little hit since that point, right? We hit about 115. Now we're at 103, down about $12, and it's just getting, it's that resistance, man. Tough spot for ServiceNow, and earnings might get it through there potentially. Coming up on Tuesday, or Wednesday, excuse me, we have ServiceNow, and look, their earnings are not that bad. EPS is projected at 86 cents, which, okay, versus 82 cents from last year. Not the best growth there, but not bad either. I mean, it's growing. And revenue is projected to grow 22%. That's great, right? 3.93 billion is the average estimate versus 3.21 billion from last year. So all this has to do, technically speaking, is take out 115. If we can actually take 110 out even, start to see some momentum kind of out of this cluster right here, this range, whatever you want to call it. If we can get out of here, guys, this could run. It could be a runner to 125, 30, 35, and a lot of people are saying, people are rotating out of memory, out of certain AI stocks, semi stocks, and they're buying some software names. Hey, if that narrative sticks, hey, good earnings as well. This could end up going a bit higher. So we'll see. Not guaranteed, though. Obviously, do your own research, guys. And, yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Google, Tesla, Intel, GEV, ServiceNow. Do you guys own any of these stocks? All these stocks? Are you planning on buying these stocks? Let me know in the comments. And hit the like button, subscribe. I appreciate you all. Check out the Patreon if you want to join the community, the private Discord, see my portfolio updates. All that stuff is linked down below, pinned in the comments, or go to stocksurfest.com/Patreon. And with that being said, I'll see you all in the next video.